everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Poly Arts Co, where we talk everything about resin and crafting. And today I want to show you a few things that I've been using with resin and my progression with using these tools, and maybe things that you can avoid if you are just beginning, right? So my first tools actually are these things, toothpicks and stir sticks. Because they are what I have at home, right? Toothpicks I still use now. They're good for pinpoint stuff, but the problem with this is that you can see at the ends they're pointed, and so they can actually poke your molds and put holes in your mold. So it hasn't happened to me, but I'm careful with how I use them. Now the problem with stir sticks is that they are made of wood, and resin tends to stick on it, and when you try to clean it, it's not gonna come off. And then I also break them so I can use two of the ends, but then you throw them away. And well, I decided that's not the way I want to go with it, and so I moved on and actually ordered this. They come with a kit with molds and stuff. You can decide which one you want to use. The problem with this, and you can see I haven't really opened it, it's quite large. You can see, right? It's big, and it's not useful to pick beads and glitter with it, which is what I was hoping to use this for, but it's quite big, so that's why it's not really useful for me. I guess I've seen people use the end of it to pick up beads, but still I'm not using this. So now we talk about this one, and you can see I actually use this quite a lot. The reason why I chose this was because I thought, okay, it's plastic. It's supposed to be, the resin doesn't stick to the plastic, but you can see that I have leftover residue with it. What I ended up doing when I'm cleaning this one, in every project that I'm working with, is I put resin cleaner. This is from Umomo. I think it's a Daiso cleaner. It's called resin cleaner. It's $2, the usual Daiso or usual Umomo pricing. Put it on the paper towel, and then I wipe my resin off, and that's how I've been doing it, right? But the problem with this one is that it's the stirring stick is quite thick. And some of the molds that come, this one is a recent mold, it's an egg mold, and when you put your stick in it, it's quite thick, so you can't really maneuver very well with this one. So if you have resin, you're picking up resin like that, and then you try to stick it, well, you end up, covering the whole of the mold. So it's great for molds that are big, but with small ones it's kind of hard, right? So I'm still using this, don't get me wrong, I still use this, but if you're a beginner resin crafter, you might want to think of how you're using stuff, right? You might want to buy something else instead of this to save your money. So moving on, I've actually purchased this. It's a recent purchase, and I think I will be using it the same way as the other one. You can see it's smaller. Let me open it. I haven't used it yet, but I think it will be useful for me. So with this mold, sorry, I'm trying to see if you can see the whole. So it fits better, right? And they can come in, like, there's 6 of them, but two with the stirring sticks. Then there's the spoon. I think this works well with glitter and smaller beads, which I tend to work with, and it comes with the pokey thing. So this would be similar to what you would do with the toothpick. So I will work with them just like I did with the stir stick, the plastic stir stick, and just wipe it when I need to. Right? So that's how I will be using it. Now let's move on to safety stuff. So I'm really concerned with the use of resin, and I'm a beginner, so the first one that I wanted to have is gloves, really, to protect myself. And I see a lot of resin crafters who don't wear gloves. I honestly think that you should be wearing gloves. It's not as if that I didn't get resin on my hands because I was not careful, and I did that, and I really was paranoid, so I had to wash my hands very quickly. So to avoid that, wear gloves, really. This is from the dollar store. It's $2, I think. But the problem I had with this is that I feel like, okay, I put resin in here, I shouldn't be using this one again. And I find myself, when you buy gloves, make sure that it's really tight, right? This wasn't really tight, so when I'm touching the resin, which is this one, and close the cap, I tend to touch the resin. So see here, actually, I don't know if you can see, but there is resin in there. So now what I try to do is actually cure the resin off my glove, but this is not for me. It's not useful. I tend to get more resin on my gloves than I shouldn't really put that. I have to put this on the side so I can cure it. So I tried using finger cots, what they call it, finger cots. Now they are okay, I guess, but you're still not protected here. And they're not comfortable. They're very they're tight here, so I didn't really enjoy that. So I'm not feeling it well enough, so I don't use this. Now here is what I'm now using, and I think I like this quite well. I got this from Amazon. This is 100, I think 100 gloves. And now it's in medium, which fits me better, actually. I'll show you. Fits me better. It's $6, $7. It's an add-on item, but you can see it fits me better. So I find that I can touch the resin better. I can not touch the resin, but I can have more control of how I touch resin, or the things that I use to touch the resin. So this is a good, I think this is a good value. Going on, this is actually the resin that I bought. It goes with the kit, and actually goes with, I think it goes with the sorry, I have to move off the camera. This goes with a nail dryer, the UV lamp. There's two of them. I think they're $28. This is good enough, and I was surprised of how much resin things I've done with just one bottle. It's now almost empty. It's what I don't like about this one is that some of the things tend to be tacky after, and there's a lot of people talking about UV resin being tacky after. I've found a way to kind of minimize that, which I will talk about in another video, but this is the one that I've been using, only because I use UV resin, and I actually use the 2-part epoxy resin as well. I tried that, but you know, at the age today, I just can't wait 24 hours, 72 hours for curing something, right? I want to see right away, so I ended up with using UV resin. Now, some of the things that I use is this one. This is actually a glue gun mat from the dollar store. Can you imagine? $2 actually. Now, and I think this is a good find. $2 from Dollarama. It's small, but it's convenient. I think you can buy a silicone mat from IKEA for $10, but it's very big, and you know, the bigger you have things, the harder it is to clean. I've also used this one from Daiso. You can see it's kind of dirty because I've been using it to mix resin and color, right, and anything powdery. And this is mostly what I use it for. It's supposed to be a mold, but that's what I use it for, is to mix resin and powder. Now, some of the molds that the earliest one that I bought, let me see if I could find it. Oh, the first mold that I actually got was from Umomo, again, $2. Not useful. Well, it's useful that it gets you started. Try it on. But if you can get things that you would actually wear, or things that you would actually use, then that's the better value. So there are some ring molds that I also bought. Now, just so you know, ring molds are really hard to use, because like you see this one, what I use, it's hard to put your resin in it, right? So you might end up with bubbles as well if you use a ring mold, and they usually come in small sizes too. So it's kind of, for the bigger ring size, it's kind of hard to find a good mold. Now, most of the stuff that you buy from Amazon would be a kit, and you would see something like a blue tape that they've said you will use with open bezels for your jewelry, and there's not enough information whether I need that tape, or it's called a resin tape, or I do not. It's like, so I decided, okay, maybe I should use like regular tape, but then I said, okay, maybe I use a duct tape first, and this is actually what I used first. I used a duct tape because I overthought it and said, you know, maybe it will stick better. I need to make sure that the resin does not leak. But if you look closely, and I hope you don't make the same mistakes, there's actually some texture to it. So that's where my mistake is. There's texture, and well, it's clear, but you can still see the texture when you use it on resin. So don't use duct tape. And then most of the time now I use this one. It's just a regular packaging tape, and it works really well. So you don't need resin tape. You just need regular tape for open bezels. And actually, there's a lot more usage to this, which I will discuss in my other videos, and I'll show you how I use it. And I think that's it for now. If you like this video, if you want to learn more about resin, please subscribe, and I will send more videos. Thank you. Bye.